Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to Ornament Inspired. My name is Kelly. Here's our pals, Mr. Wilby, Miss Pickles, and little baby Wilby Pickles. And if you're seeing that red live button at the top, that means you're catching us live. And I hope you are, because we are crafting today. What the heck was that? With the Standing Tall crafting group. So come on in, friends. Say hello when you pop on so we know who's there. I think I should change my name of my page to Rowena May Inspired's Chaotic Crafting. Miss Ronnie is up after me, and that her page name is Ronnie's Chaotic Crafting, because I feel like I've been just chaotic since I've been down here trying to get ready to go live. Good Lord. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Hello, Miss Kathy. Come on in, friends. Miss Carol Ruth is just finishing up over on her page. Oh, I got a hot mess going on here. I don't even know what that's from. I got a big old hot mess going on. I was throwing things out. Like the Swedish chef, I was just flinging things all over the place. Just flinging them. Hello, Miss Krista. Happy Thursday, friends. And I just thought about this. I'm like, I gotta garbage when this is when I'm done. Because garbage day's tomorrow. It's like I gotta go around and collect all the garbage. To take it outside. All right, you guys, we're going to light up our wonderful Wiener Dog Merry Christmas Positivity candle. I don't know the scent of this. I got to ask. My coworker made this for me. And I don't know the scent of this candle, but it is delightful. So, hello, Miss Sparky. How are you, friend? Come on in. You guys, we are crafting today with the Stand Tall crafting group. I'm going to cut Miss Carol Ruth off. I don't know if she's still going, what's going on there, but cutting her off anyway. Cutting her off. All right, I'm not going to really be painting, so I'm not going to put that on because I don't want to. I don't want to. Thank you for sprinkling. Hello, Miss Debbie. How's everybody's Thursday been? Okay, so I'm going to slide our pals over here and get them out of the way because I got to make space for them. Apparently I've filled in their space. There they go. So I went through my stash, and hello, Miss Marlene, how are you? And I found this metal embroidery hoop. Now, I had a craft saved in my stash. I've never used a metal one that's like, almost like spring-loaded. This is kind of interesting. I had a heck of a time getting it apart, so we'll see how it goes. Can you guys see? Hold on. That's better. I was rewatching a live one day, and I realized that the top of my screen there was more at the top showing than, and somebody was like, I can't see. I'm like, oops, sorry. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. Hello, Miss Shannon. Well, thank you so much for spreading the sunflowers. You guys, we're going to take this really pretty, whoa, don't light the material on fire. It's got like little trees on it. I guess they'd be considered little Christmas trees, but we're going to put this in here in our little embroidery hoop, okay? I think this is going to be cute. You're so over the cold, you don't know how you'll stand. Yeah, really? We're over the cold too, and it's just beginning. That's the sad part. All right, let me slide this a little bit more over here so I don't waste too much material, and slide it up a little bit. It is chilly here too. All right, let me see if I can get this on. Guys, this wasn't easy getting it apart. Let me see if I can get it back together. Good Lord. Good Lord. See if I can spring it out a little bit. All right, I'm going to see if I can pull it and then sit it down. I think that's the trick. Hold on, I got to stand up and put a little muscle into it. Okay, whew. Whew. Just kidding. Just kidding. Hello, Miss Giselle. Hello, Miss Ronnie. Right at the very beginning, when I pushed the live button, I said Ronnie's Chaotic Crafting is up after me, and really, I think I should name my page Rowena May Inspired's Chaotic Crafting, because if you could have seen me getting ready for this live, you would have been like, holy moly! I literally took a bin of Christmas stuff over there and just dumped it. I was like, I know what I'm looking for is in here. It wasn't. I've lost something that I know I had. Hello, Miss Angie. Thank you for sprinkling. I did see your really pretty frame. Usually I'm not able to hop on and see the first the first person who's crafting today, but I got an opportunity to do that today. Check her out real quick. I couldn't stick around too long because I was still working. But I just popped on real quick and saw what she's doing. I'm like, oh, that print and her bow and her frame. That was a really cool frame. That's not a Dollar Tree frame, is it? Because it had like that. It seemed like it had a bigger backer on it. I didn't. Hello, Miss Rita. Hello, Miss Marilyn. So I wasn't sure where you got that. All right, I'm just trying to trim off this material, this excess material from our embroidery hoop. All right, it's really cute. Got a little hoopage going on there. So, oh, you know what? Mother might not. Yeah, she's in Wisconsin. She drove to Wisconsin today to my brother's. So she may not be on. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there today. So she traveled over there for the weekend. She'll be back, I think Sunday. She'll be back. So, all right, I'm just trying to trim off some of this excess so it's not so shaggy looking. Oh, Family Dollar. Okay. I don't get to the Family Dollar very often. The Family Dollars we have here in our town are, they're not in the greatest part of town, but they're kind of sketch. They're kind of just trash. That's what they are. It's like, it's kind of, kind of like the Dollar Generals that get kind of out of control. But I love that. All right, so we've got our little base for our craft, okay? Now, I thought it would be really cute because normally I would like paint this, but because it's metal, I don't really want to paint it. But I grabbed this really pretty, I think this might be from Hobby Lobby. I don't know, the rolls on the thing, but it's the little, just the buffalo check. Oh, you know what? I probably didn't even plug my, glue gun in because that's just the way this whole thing is gone. We'll set that aside and we'll go on to this. So this, it was originally $5. Oh, they were clearance. Oh, awesome. This is what I was looking for in my stash because I wanted to put these little snowmen. You can get them from like Dollar Tree, I think. And I remember this one. I could not find, I know I have a package of these or more. And I could not for the life of me find, but I found like all of a sudden there was a bag. Where was it? Where did I put it at? I don't know where I sat it. There was a little bag of stuff. And I just happened to look at it. What did I do with it? And it had one of these in it. I was like, oh my gosh. God's like, here is your snowman. You're throwing a temper tantrum over here. Well, thank you for sprinkling me, Cornholio. No, I didn't really throw a temper tantrum. I just dumped the bin sideways and was like, shuffling through. So we're going to take our praise and worship hymns. This is an old book. It's seen better days. I didn't steal this from any church or anything. It was thrifted. And I'm gonna take a page out. We're gonna Mod Podge it onto Silent Night, Holy Night. That'd be pretty on our. That's a good song for our. Hello, sweet and sassy crafting Miss Regina. How are you? We're gonna use Silent Night, Holy Night on our little snowman, okay? This craft was inspired by Miss Labrusca from My Eclectic Treasures. She did something similar, and I thought it was really adorable. So let me just get this in here, kind of in the center. So I mean, not that you're going to really be paying attention to all it says, because you're not going to see all of that. But I want to kind of trace it a little bit so I can cut. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? You guys, we've had some crappy weather, to say the least. We actually got sent home early from work yesterday because it rained. Oh my gosh, where is my pen? Okay, hold on. Sorry. Because it like rained and rained and rained and rained. It was awful. And then it was supposed to freeze. So I got home before anything happened. I have no clue where my pen went. Just a second. I'm digging through here because my pen should be right in this cup and it's not. Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so on the way to work yesterday, there's a hill. We go down. You can find hymnals at thrift stores. I think they're free. Oh, I think so. I think so too. You know what? Mother's Church doesn't even use they don't even use really hymnals anymore. They sing all their music on, you know, like up on the board. But I think I got this particular one down in Kentucky when we went for. Or it wasn't Kentucky. We were in Illinois, but really close to Kentucky when we went to Metropolis, Illinois. I think it came from a barn down there. I think that's where that one came from. But I'm always looking for them when I go to estate sales. All right, so we just traced it on our Silent Night. Hello, Miss Patty. So yeah, on the way to work yesterday, I came over this hill and I was like, oh. So a few years ago, I don't remember how long ago it's been, but I remember we had an ice storm and a fire truck was trying to go. I think it was trying to. I don't know if it was trying to go up the hill or down the hill, but it flipped. It rolled over because it was, and it really wasn't because it was going too fast. It was because it was solid ice, and it just eeks. So. Anyway, it was kind of scary. You could see where somebody hit the curb. My husband said when he came to work that, because he came later than I did, he said when he was on his way in, somebody almost like went off the road and hit a house. I was like, holy crap. Clearly you guys are all going a little too fast. But, you know, people forget how to drive here. I don't know where you live. Every year they forget how to drive. It's just like, come on. It's not, slow down. Just slow down. But yeah, that was the worst spot for me on the way to work. But today it's just snowy. It doesn't really do. I mean, it didn't snow today, but it's cold. It's cold and crappy. How's that? Cold and crappy. Probably how it'll be till April. So anyway, we made it through another day. We do Adopt a Family with Salvation Army. We always. A lot of our branches at work adopt families. We have a family of 4 and a veteran. So today we spent time wrapping up the presents and getting a game plan together. All right, I'm going to set this on top of this. Okay. And you're like, wait, why did you trace it out? Well, because I wanted that front part. And that's how I traced it. And I'm just we'll sand off and then whatever we don't get, we'll blow that ink right off there. So yeah, we spent time wrapping presents today. It was fun times. We have a bunch of interns in our branch, and so there was 5 of them, and we got it done in 20 minutes. You have say 6 women wrapping presents. Oddly enough, we didn't get any men to come help us. Oops. They know their limitations. Oh, shoot. It was kind of funny. I'm like, actually, I think there was only one guy that was available because the other ones were either TDY or or they were in training, so there was only one, and apparently they were saying, where's he at? He didn't come down. And I think he just wasn't into the wrapping. Hello, Miss Amanda. How are you, friend? Miss Mandy. All right, let's see. Gotta get around this here nose. Got a little nose here. Not nose hair, nose here. Whoops. I got that a little bit. All right, so we're gonna swipe off this. Yeah, what else has been happening? Nothing really too exciting other than, like I said, the weather is just kind of, it's winter. It's winter here in Michigan, and it's going to be winter for a long time. The only other thing exciting happening here is, Christy, you love wrapping? There was one gal who really loves wrapping. She couldn't wait to get down there, but she was one of those. She was a real big perfectionist. Everything had to be just right, So I was like, all right. Whatever gets it done. I don't care. Whatever gets it done. All right, let me see here. I got to try to take my wrapping paper, or my got wrapping paper on the brain, my sandpaper off, and just kind of get into this little area here. Oh, yesterday we had pancake breakfast. So every year, management, they make pancakes and sausage, and they serve us breakfast at the holiday time. So that was nice. And this year it included like the whole building. I think they said there were about 400 people that came down. I don't know if they ended up counting my husband twice because he went back for seconds. $3.99. Okay, $3.99. So let me get that ink off there that's still showing just a little bit. We got most of it off. Get it off the nose. Alright, so there is our little snowman with our paper on there. Now I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take a little bit of, I don't know how I'm putting him on here yet. I think I'm going to take a little bit of, your friends come over with their presents, pay you to wrap. Hey, that's awesome. Some people don't like to do it. Some people do. You know, find those people that do and pay them. Pay them. I used to work at Cracker Barrel back in the day. You guys were using some chalk teak, dark paste wax. I used to work at Cracker Barrel back in the early 90s. And I worked in the gift shop, and I was a cashier, and we used to wrap. I don't even think they wrap presents anymore. They used to have the little wrapping station. I don't see that anymore unless they take them in the back. I don't know. Maybe wrapping presents for people is a thing of the past, because that was like a little, you know, a little perk, you know. You buy your presents, and we would wrap them. We have these really cool bows. You anybody remember them? They were like these bows where, like, there was outside pieces, and then there were, like, the two pieces on the inside, and you would take them and you would, you know, push them up, and it would make a bow for you. Oh, they were awesome. Anybody remember that? They were fun. I don't know if you can buy those or not, but those are really cool. That was a Cracker Barrel thing. Many, many, many moons ago. Many moons ago. Maybe I'll just do his whole hat with the brown. Make his hat dark. Who knows? I'll probably end up doing the whole thing. There's our little stained little edge of our snowman. You guys know I like to make it look more rustic. Make it look what my husband can. Oh, your husband can. Wait, who said? Oh, Miss Angie, your husband can wrap, but he won't. Oh, probably. Get into that. I don't mind it. You know, I remember last year though, wrapping all the presents. I'm like, holy moly, I'm over this already. So this year I'm thinking that I may be just putting a bunch of presents in a box, like, because this year we did something a little different. I think I told you that I have my son and Blake has a son, and we bought them both rifles for hunting. And so we were like, okay, well, if we buy the boys those, then we have to buy the girls equivalent, right? You know, like, they're not going to get one of those, obviously, but we're going to have to give them, like, equivalent in gifts, you know, or whatever. So they gave us lists. And I said, whatever we don't end up spending, I'll just give you the cash, you know. So anyway, and they'll love that too. So they got quite a lot of gifts because, you know, the equivalent, you know, whatever, you gotta, so, but I'm like, I don't want to wrap all these. I think we're just gonna put them all in we're gonna put a bunch of them in a box and just be like, you just keep pulling them out of the box, because the rest of the family's gonna sit there and be like, another one. You used a lot of gift bags when kids were little. I enjoy wrapping more now. Yes, I agree with that. Gift bags are great, especially if it's like not a gift, you know, like if you're giving something, if you're taking something somewhere to somebody. I mean, like, who doesn't love the gift bags? Hold on, I'm gonna pull that back like for birthday presents and stuff like that. Like, I love that. Well, that's set up. I gotta go back. Gotta go back. We're on the metal there, so we're gonna see how well this sticks. We'll see how well this sticks. I had to pull it back up though because I wasn't liking how that was sitting. Oops. Hello, Miss Robin. How are you? So is anybody traveling for Christmas this year? Why is this crooked, you guys? I'm trying to get it straight and I'm going crooked. Anybody got to travel anywhere? I suppose because the government shutdown is over, I suppose that the airlines are back to full staffing. So I hope anyway that people will be able to, if they're flying, get to their destinations. Hopefully. You have that precious grandma did my foot. I know! I bought her some things yesterday. I haven't bought her a lot yet. I bought her 3 things, and none of them are like clothes or anything. They're, I don't know. I feel like she has a lot of clothes right now, but I think she's, she's growing. So she's going through, like the growth spurts of into the next. Okay, I think my daughter-in-law says she's on the bigger end, like if you have 3 to 6 months, she's on the bigger end, more like the 6 months. So, and she's 3 months. She just turned 3 months old yesterday. She's 3 whole months. You're going to Florida on Wednesday, Miss Marlene. That's awesome. You do bags and wrap only for the grandkids. Nice. Got us newest ultrasound pictures and newest. Oh, how awesome. That's so awesome. I was talking to a really good friend of mine today. I don't work with her, like, we work in different parts of the building now. We used to work together, but she's a very good friend, and she has 2 grandkids. She has 2 grandsons. She has 1 daughter, and her daughter has had 2 sons, and I think the last one was just born. I think maybe the one's 3, and then she just had one just probably maybe a month or 2 before. Maybe he's like 5 months old, maybe not even that. Maybe he's only 4 months. I don't know. It was kind of, they kept it really quiet. And I was like, what the heck? And she said, well, there were other, and that's how humble of this, like, just to be like this, but there were other friends and family members that were pregnant for the first time. And so they just didn't want to be making a big deal about their pregnancy. Like, some people in their family didn't even know she was pregnant. Like, what? I'm like, okay. So anyway, she's like, there's nothing better. I mean, she goes, I love my grandkids. There's nothing better than seeing your own children be good parents. And I'm like, you're right. Because then, you raised your kid right. Like, they're a good parent. You can just tell. All right, you guys. So there is we just put the edging on that, okay? We just edged it so I had a little finished look. And I was like, that is so true. I agree. And I hadn't really thought about it until she said that. So I'm going to take a little orange paint and put a little nose on him. Does anybody else feel that way? You're not very talkative trying to get stuff finished because I'm... Oh, nice! Miss Kathy's off tomorrow. I wish I was off tomorrow. I think Mother and I are going to go to Shipshewana next Friday, and she said, well, she goes, we can go in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, I could work. I'll work, and then we can go at like so I said I can just get out of work a couple hours early, and like start my 2-week vacation. I'm going to start my 2-week vacation 2 hours early. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go next Friday. Just down there one more time, pick up some things. Pick up some things that we need to get. We gotta get that meat and cheese tray and whatever else, What else that we can't live without? Alright, we're gonna dry his little nose. Dry it a little bit more. Get it really good because I probably sand a little bit on it. Maybe just a little bit. Let me see. Where did this sandpaper go? Boy, the stores have been crazy lately. Like, I went to Walmart twice this week. 2 different times during the day. Like, I mean, like when I get out of work. So, like, you know, 3 o'clock or whatever, 3-ish. And it's like, why? Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm going to be off 2 weeks. So I take off the 22nd is my first day off. And then, you know, Christmas is that week. And then the next week, so I'll go back like January 5th, I think. Yes, 8 days of vacation. 8 days. But you got the weekends, you know. I love it. I love this time of year. I just love it. Okay, so we got our snowman. I want to grab us. I got this. I think I showed you guys this. Did I show you this? I got this. My sister and I bought that bin of stuff from the gal. We split it. I brought this over thinking I could use one of these to make it look like a... If I can get it to lay flat, I can make it kind of into a tree. A tree beside it. Yes! Like my husband's in what we call use or lose status. So it's exactly that. You use your leave or they take it from you. And who wants to leave? Leave. Nobody wants to leave, right? So he'll be off. I think he's actually off. Oh, this has got wire in it. Hold, please. I have to snip it with some big dogs here. Okay, there we go. I think he's off longer than I am. I mean, like before me, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure. Right, this has got some sparkly in it. Some sparkly. I'm trying to just kind of twist it a little bit so I can glue it down here on the side. So we have a little tree with our snowman right along the side here. I think that'll be really cool. Like so. Alright, so let me put a little glue on the big part in the base. Big part of the base. And we'll lay that down there and see. Yeah, I'm excited. This time of year, it's just like, so we'll have Christmas. This is how our Christmas usually goes. Christmas Eve, we go to my in-laws. And that's like the extended family Christmas. So like his aunts and uncles, cousins. Colin and EY will come, which is fun because now they have the baby this year, so even extra fun. My stepchildren. So we'll all be there. And then Christmas morning, my son and daughter-in-law will come over in the morning and they'll bring the baby and we'll have breakfast. We always have breakfast. So my stepkids, they spend Christmas morning with their mom. And that's their little tradition. And then they'll come over in the afternoon. And then we'll open our gifts with all of us. And then like about maybe 5-ish, we go back to my in-laws, all of us, Colin, EY, the kids, us, we all go back to my in-laws and just have the family Christmas. Because on Christmas Eve, that looks really cool on there. On Christmas Eve, we don't do, I mean, like, the only gifts they do is, like, the kids. The kids, like, the aunts and uncles buy gifts for the kids. Because there's a lot of little kids. And we have, like, appetizers and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to do something to his hat that you guys will probably really love. And this is what Labriska did to hers, too, because I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Because this is going to be little rustic, little schmancy. Little rustic schmancy. How's that? Schmancy. So, let's see. So we have Christmas that day. And then I think we'll have a day off. And then the 27th, we're gonna do Christmas with Mother and my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece or my nephew. My niece will be there. I don't know like what the situation. My brother and his wife don't come over. That's a whole nother story. But I think my nieces might be here, but I don't know when they're coming. My brother's kids will be here at some point, but I don't know when. So. Anyway, Anyway, so we have a, you know, you sure miss those family Christmases. It's so hard when, yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree. I started talking about my dad today. So Sunday, my dad will be gone 5 years on Sunday. It's crazy. Can you guys believe that? Some of you were here when my dad suddenly passed away. It's been 5 years. So Mother we'll spend the day. My sister and my mom and I will spend the day together. Usually we'll wrap presents that Mother's bought for, you know, the kids and stuff. We'll wrap them, help her wrap them. But this year it's a little different because my mom's in Wisconsin. She'll be coming home that day. My nephew Finnegan plays basketball, and he's got a basketball tournament, so they won't be home. Okay, so we did some. Look at that. We blinged up the hat. So we stained it with the chalk teak, but we just blinged it a little bit. So Mother's gonna come here when she's on her way back from Wisconsin, and we're gonna do a craft. I mean, I'm gonna be in the Mischievous Crafty Friends event that day, but her and I are gonna do our own little. We won't be live or anything, but we're gonna do we bought something in Shipshawana when we went down there. We're gonna do together. So anyway, and then who knows what from there. But 5 years, it's crazy. All right, I just laid that one down there, and then I'm gonna glue our snowman. I'm trying to figure out where I want to glue him. Maybe right there. Maybe like right there. I have those snowflakes are too big. I think I want to put a snowflake up there. Sunday would have been my mother's 105th birthday. Oh my goodness. 5. Isn't that crazy when like when you start to think about those dates, like my grandparents are gone too, and they're like, yeah, same thing. They would be, I don't know how old they, you know, but when my mom or my aunts put that on there, I'm like, holy moly. All right, I've got some of these little snowflakes. I'm going to see if I want to put maybe one snowflake up here. That might be pretty. Maybe we'll paint that the color and put that up there. How much time do we have? Okay, we still got plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time. All right, so let me glue him down here onto this. Because we're about to bust out the picker pen. Y'all know the picker pen? We're about to bust out the picker pen. Let me hold this down here. Hello, Miss Alita. How are you, friend? No, I should have done. I should have flipped this the other way and put the greenery in front of that little bump over there. But you know, that's just Kelly. She does everything backwards. It goes, oh, I should have probably done that, but it's okay. It's all good. All right, so there's our little snowman on there. Now let me see about what I want to do to the snowflake. I might, let's see, I've got this iridescent paint. It's like iridescent. It's really pretty. No, that's cottage white. Hold on, where's it at? I just used it last night, so it's got to be right here. Well, I say that, but in the perfect world, it would be right here. What do I do with it? Oh, is this it? Pearl white. It's metallic pearl white. After you lose your precious spouse, no holidays are the same. Oh, I know. Like, yeah. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. Like when we did Thanksgiving, we told Mom. My dad always sat at the end of the table, and we're like, Mom, you sit at Dad's spot, you know, like it's still Dad's spot. Oh shoot, it's so hard. It's crazy that he's been gone 5 years. But it's like a little nap. There's 2 funny stories, and some of you have probably heard this before, but there's 2 funny stories, and I was just telling this. Where was I at? Was I at work? I think I was at work. And I was telling them about how there's just 2 funny things that happened in the middle of all of this sadness and chaos, you know, with my dad being, you know, rushed to the hospital and everything, and my dad was gone. I think he was gone when he hit the floor of his garage. But, you know, they have to, you know, do the life-saving, you know, whatever, trying to do the whole thing. But my dad has, I say has because my mother still has it, you know, it's the, like his little man cave garage, you know, you've seen when we've had holiday stuff out there. So they have a big pole barn. Oh, they have a huge pole barn, and then they have this big garage pole barn-ish where like their cars are, you know, she has her truck in there and it's heated and they have a TV and they have a couch. Well, at one point they had a table. My dad called it the table of truth and justice. They used to have guys come over in the morning. Like typically they were either retired or they were farmers. You know, that would come over and drink coffee and get the morning gossip or whatever before they go out and do their thing. All right, I'm going to dry this. So now it has like a couch and like mom's old couch. She got new furniture, so there's the old couches out there and a recliner. I think it was not my. We have my dad's recliner here, but they had another recliner, so she moved that out there because she got like new furniture that all matches. So anyway, my dad, I don't know. He was big into the like going to swap meets and stuff, and he bought, I don't know where he bought it from. Mother would know if she was on here, but she's not. He bought a pop machine. Okay, it was like a little Coke machine. But he filled it. He drank Diet Mountain Dew, so he filled it with Diet Mountain Dew. And he used to buy those big, huge bottles, like the 1 liter bottles of the Diet Mountain Dew, and he filled the machine. Well, when my dad collapsed in his garage, he collapsed right in front of the door. He got as far as to call my mom on the phone, so mom knew something was wrong. So she was on her way out because he like wasn't there. Like he called, but she couldn't understand him. Well, so when she got to the garage, he had collapsed right in front of the door. So she kind of had to push her way in. And then when the ambulance, they live in a small town that has a volunteer fire department. And when they got there, you know, of course they're doing CPR on him. And apparently there was one of the firefighters, was a big guy. And he was doing CPR, and every time he rocked back, he'd hit the pop machine button, and it would drop a Diet Mountain Dew. He'd drop one and drop one. So we laugh because that is just so funny to us, because my dad he was like I am with my Diet Coke. He was like that with his Diet Mountain Dew, like he always had to do, right? So those are kind of the things that bring us joy and just make us laugh, because it's like, oh my gosh, that is so funny. But then the other one was, we were at the hospital. Okay, so that's really pretty, you guys. With this, we're using, I didn't even tell you what this is. This is diamond dust. Is what we're putting on there, diamond dust. You guys probably figured that out. I love this. This is so pretty. So we're at the hospital, and my mom was in the back with my dad, and then she came out, and she was sitting there with us, and it was my sister and my brother-in-law, and me, and my son, and Blake, and that was that it? And my mom had we called my brother, because he's in Wisconsin, obviously. And we're sitting there, and there's always a police officer on duty at the hospital. I don't know if it's like that where you guys live, but where we live, there's always a police officer, like a legit police officer, not like security, but there's a legit police officer that's at the emergency room all the time. So he comes walking in the door, and he says, excuse me, When Mr. McClure was brought into the hospital tonight, he was carrying a firearm. My dad always had his gun on him, right? That's just how it was. And, you know, obviously, that the first responders probably should have checked that before they took him, so that he wasn't carrying a gun. But we all just, that took us from being like really sad to just laughing our full heads off, because that's my dad. That's how he would have wanted to go, you know, toting that. The judge, he had the judge. If anybody knows those kind of things, the judge is a revolver. He had the judge. It was just too funny. But those are the two stories that we laugh. It'll just bring it back. Remember, you know, it's like, yeah, it's so funny. Like, oh shoot, you have to have the good laugh. So you guys, I'm gonna take some of these Totally Dazzled rhinestones, and we're gonna put those around this metal. Okay, this is gonna take us a little bit. Okay, but I'm gonna use some B7000 as soon as I pull off some of that little. You gotta find the humor. You know, you gotta find some humor, right? Like, all right. So I'm just gonna put a little line here, and we're gonna just start. I don't have that fancy little dish, right? I need one of those dishes. I just got my little picker pen, and I'm just going to start sitting those on here. And we're going to just kind of hide that metal. I need one of those little trays. To ask my aunt. I think she has a bunch. You know what I do have though? Hold on. I have a little cup. I can just put in this little. That'd be easier. Then I can, because then if you squish them around, they'll usually turn over for you. Like you can just there, like that. So I was looking at the estate sales this week, and like, I think there's one in the city, and there's like 2 in Kalamazoo. I'm like, why are they so far away? But my sister's busy, and not that they would go to estate sales with me, but there's a craft show. Oops. There's a craft show at the old high school where my sister used to work. It's not an old high school, but the school my sister used to work at. And they're not here to go with me, so I guess I'm going to go to the craft show alone, which is fine. I'm good with that. All right. Anybody like doing the rhinestone thing? You know, what I found is that I kind of enjoy doing the diamond art. Diamond art is kind of fun. We did that with my aunt when we went down to Shipshawana. I'm going to put a bunch in here. It's a lot of fun. I made some ornaments. We made some ornaments while we were down in Shipshawana, and then I ordered some snowman ornaments. And on Thanksgiving, my nephew, hello, Mr. Wayne. I think I told you this, but when Debbie's mama said she wanted them to play another One Bites the Dust, the funeral one. Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. So she wanted that song played, huh? Well, my dad always said he wanted to be buried face down. Because he wanted to just tell people the kisses, you know what? I mean, that's just how my dad was. Where I get my twisted sense of humor. All right, that one won't give up, you guys. Why is that not giving up? Get off the pen. Give up. There we go. It's going to take a while, you guys. Also, my lighting isn't the greatest on this at this angle, so I hope I'm getting them somewhat on straight, because that's my goal right now, is to get them somewhat straight. This sits up, the B7000 sits up pretty quick, but yeah, I used to tell my mom that. Bury me face down. shoot, that is funny. When my dad's mom passed away, she had gone. She was married to my grandpa for I don't know how many years. Like my grandma and grandpa, we used to be disturbed by this, but you know, when we were kids, we were like, oh my gosh, grandma. When my grandma Rena May, when she married my grandpa Claude, she was 14 and he was 24. And he was going off to World War II. Both of my grandpas were in World War II. And now my grandma Rowene and my grandpa Leslie, they were high school sweethearts. They were the same age. I think actually my grandma Rowene was a couple months older. I think she was born in February. My grandpa was born in June. So I think that's how it went. I don't think he was older. I think they were the same age because they graduated. You know, they had like their class of what, I don't even know what year they graduated, but class of like less than 20 people. But yeah, so we always thought that was kind of disturbing that grandma got married. She only had an 8th grade education. You guys, that's looking cute. Look at this. Oh, I like that. See, we're kind of hiding that. We're kind of hiding that metal band. Yeah, she was 14. So she only went to school through the 8th grade. She went to a school here in Battle Creek. Still there. Still has students in it. But I'm telling you what, she was an amazing cook and a green thumb. Oh my gosh, her gardens, her flowers. Oh my gosh. I did not inherit the green thumb. I wish. My sister and I, we always pick on my sister because I think my sister doesn't really kill her plants. She just doesn't water them. She just doesn't remember to water them. Oh my gosh, I hate when they won't let go. I think that's just the problem. She's got to remember to water them. You just get sad. They need water. Oh my gosh. Some of these are just giving me issues. So anyway, that was that. They were married when I turned 20. No, that was for my grandpa and grandma's. I think I was still in high school when my grandpa and grandma had their 50th wedding anniversary. My grandma Rena May. I know I was in high school. My brother, no, wait, maybe I was out of high school. I can't remember. It's a blur. No, I think I was still in high school. But anyway, when I turned 21. My other grandparents, my grandma Rowene and my grandpa Les, it was their 50th wedding anniversary, and that was on my 21st birthday. And like my now husband says, he'll say, when people say, those don't want to stick. When he was taking them to sell the responders. Oh wait, what was the story? Wait. When my dad passed, he was on his way to the flea market. He had a heart attack on his way. He had multiple firearms in the vehicle. He was taking them to sell. The responders and police, neither one said anything about them to us, but we are in the South. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, the only thing that the police did is they wanted someone to take possession of it. So my brother-in-law, he went out in the parking lot with the officer and they locked it in it was loaded. So, it's kind of unsettling to probably healthcare, people like, oh yeah, he's got a gun. Let's take this out. Oh shoot. It just made us laugh so hard. I'm like, just laughed so stinking hard, and it's probably the best thing that happened that night, Oh shoot, that's crazy. The sad part is I mean, the whole thing was sad, right? But I was in my craft room. I lived in my other house before. It was before I was, you know, I wasn't married or to Blake or anything. And I was in my craft room and I was working on a craft. And I was actually working on a craft. And I don't know if I ever told Mom what I was doing. I don't think I ever showed her. I don't know. Maybe I did show her. I was working on a craft because they were going to be married for 50 years that following August. And I was working on this craft and I just saw it the other day. It's in my closet over here. I don't know why I just still have it. Hello, Miss Minnie. How are you? Hello, Miss Karen. Was watching some of your old videos today. You have lost a lot of weight, looking good. Well, thank you. Yes, I have. I have over the past couple years. Try and keep it off. But man, I'm loving the sweets right now. Somebody brought in fudge today. She's like, I brought in peanut butter fudge. And then next week we're having bring in Christmas cookies and we'll all go around and eat them. Oh Lord. So my parents camped, right? And my mom has a truck and she still has it. And so I had one of those one of those cutouts with a truck on it, you know, like, I don't know, Dollar Tree or whatever. And I painted it to look just like her truck. And then there was a camper. It was like the camper cutout. And I put at the top I put it on a board, and at the top I put 50 years of, making, I don't know, McClure 50 years of memories or whatever it was. And I literally had just finished that. And it was just like, oh, like, it just was sad. Just sad. But I was just talking about this to some coworkers, and I said, you know, I really feel that God was like saving my dad from, every winter he got COVID. He didn't get COVID. He never had COVID. He got bronchitis so bad. He was a heavy smoker forever, right? Like, he'd probably been smoking since he was a teen. And he would get bronchitis every year. And I really think that, I told Mama, so I'm like, maybe this was God's way of saying, I'm taking you now, because if he was to get bronchitis during that whole really messy COVID time, it could have just gone really bad, and nobody wants anyone to suffer like that, and yeah. So I just maintain that it was his time. I have saved him from something worse, and my dad had a heart condition. We have heart conditions on both sides of our family. Like, if we talk about it, we're doomed. We're doomed. My grandpa and grandma, I think both sides had heart issues, and my dad had his first heart attack in his 40s. But he was under a lot of stress. There's like a gnat. He was under a lot of stress because he worked in management. He worked for Post Cereals, and he was in management at the time, and they went on strike once, and he was the management in the trucks and grounds, and so when trucks needed to go out, he drove the truck over the picket line, and it was just a lot of stressful time. You guys, look how much we did. How much time do we have left? We got 8 minutes. That's looking so cool. I love that. We just got to go around this little curve here. So, you guys, we're in the Stand Tall Crafting group today, and up next is Miss Ronnie with Ronnie's Chaotic Crafting or Crafts. I can't remember. Miss Krista will tell you. We'll say it. Thank you for sprinkling, and it's great that you're here. I appreciate you all being here on this. Well, it's chilly here in Michigan. Wherever you're at, if it's warm, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Okay, get off there. Get off there. Hate when it sticks. Hate when it does that. Some of these are sticking in the tray. Has anybody done diamond art? Oh my gosh. It is kind of fun. But I wanted to zhuzh up this little. So we got like a combination of a little blingy, but a little rustic. I think it's adorable. Adorable. If you can get him to stick good, you can truck through this pretty fast if you can get him to stick it. Your dog was snoring so loud you can't hear Kelly. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. That is too funny. We were getting the presents around today, all the gifts to wrap for the, in the adoptive family. And one of the gals said, should we wrap some of these together? And I said, and this family has 2 little girls. And I said, okay, let's take a look at our inventory here. What do we have? How many gifts do we have for these 2 girls? Because if I remember when I was a little girl, if I didn't get the same amount of gifts as my sister or my brother, I'd be like, that's not fair. So to save the parents from, why did Sally get 7 presents and I only got 6? I'm like, no, we need to make sure that we wrap them so that they're even. So we did. And they were like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm like, I'm just trying to save the parents from crying children, feeling slighted because they got more than I did and I wanted more. Your cat puts her head on my shoulder at bedtime and purrs in my ear. It makes it where I don't need a fan. Cats they're interesting. I had 2 at one time. I didn't know at the time. I'm highly allergic. The cat's almost killed me. Like, the pulmonologist diagnosed me with COPD, you guys, because my breathing was so bad. He thought maybe I worked in a plastics factory or I was a heavy smoker. I'm like, I work in a plastics factory and I've never smoked. So what are you talking about? So we narrowed it down to cats. The cats were, because once I didn't have the cats anymore and I had a house that didn't have carpet or anything, I got better. Can't put that one on. I got better. So we just say we're allergic to cats because they essentially were. This cat, the dander, was killing me. It's looking good. Oh, this is so cute. I love it. I love it. You guys, we got just a couple minutes. I probably will go in and maybe fill in right here where there's just that little bit of the metal ring left. But I just love this. I'm going to end up putting a hanger on it. Let's see if I can get one more in there. This gets the glue on it. You have a cat that does the same thing, Miss Nora? I remember when I used to love it. I mean, and they'd get up on the bed and they'd come, well, these cats were crazy. They would rip and tear in the night and I'd just be like wanting to smack the snot out of them because they would just rip through the house. I'm like, go to sleep, you fools. They were like siblings when my ex-husband, he grew up with cats, so he wanted cats. So when we bought our house, I was like, fine, you can have cats, whatever. Not knowing that he was going to come home with these. They were barn cats, right? That he just went to somebody's house down the road and they're like, oh, we got cats, here, take some. So he comes home with 2 of them. What were their names? Gosh, Elmo and Fergie. I had to think for a minute. It's been a little bit since we've had them. And I rehomed them to a good home when, I couldn't have them anymore. Find a place for them. I mean, what was I gonna do? It was either I live or I find the cats a home. Your cat was 24 pounds and stood 4 feet high. Holy moly. 4 feet high when standing on his hind legs. Oh, okay. He only weighed 4 ounces when you brought him home. Oh my gosh. So he was a long cat. Yeah, this one, we had Elmo and Fergie, and they were in the same litter, and she was black and he was a gray. They were really pretty. They were really pretty. All right, you guys, what do you think? I think this turned out so cute. So I got to put a hanger on it. Isn't that cute with just a little embroidery hoop? Little metal embroidery hoop. This is what the back looks like. It just looks like that. Just put a little ribbon on the side to hide the side. I was going to use lace, but then I decided to use that ribbon. Whoops, I'm getting, my glue is raining down. We got our little snowman that came from the Dollar Tree, and a little snowflake, and we put the diamond dust on it. I might put a couple of little I'll probably put little black rhinestones, maybe one for his eye, maybe a little mouth, and his, whoops, oh shoot, and his buttons. But I am just about out of time. I'm going to hand it off to, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to hand it off to Miss Ronnie. You guys, if you're not in the Stand Tall Crafting group, please get in there so you can watch the next crafter and the next crafter and the next crafter, because there's still some amazing crafters that are coming up. Your guy's name is Sassy May. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. You guys, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Go check out Miss Ronnie with Ronnie's Chaotic Crafting, and have a great night. Bye-bye.